Hey, this is Whammy with the match against OldGregBattles, and before I start my narration, I just want to point out that I am using a primarily offensive team, and he's using a primarily defensive team, so that makes for a very interesting match. It was very close. I had fun. So, he's going to lead off with Mian Chao. I'm going to lead off with Mian Chao. There are Mian Chaos just all over the place. It's ridiculous. So, he actually ends up being faster, which is what I get for not savving, but oh well. He goes for the fake out. I just go for the U-turn at this point. His Jellicent has an air balloon, and I'm like, what? So I just kind of U-turn, get out of there, and I go into Plumbum, and I get predicted. Ridiculously predicted. His Espeon carries the ability Magic Bounce, which if you don't know, will bounce back any hazards or that kind of thing to my side, which kind of sucks. So I'm just going to go for the Mud Sport just because I can get it up and get out of there. I'm going to come into the Chandelure just for the good mashup, Koshech, which actually tonight's the first night of Passover. Happy Pesach! So he's going to switch out, just fearing the Shadow Ball. I end up going for the Flamethrower, knowing he will switch, wanting to keep his Espeon just in case I try and set up rocks again later. He's going to come back into his Min Chao. I'm going to go for the Flamethrower. It's going to get him very low, and he just ends up switching out. So he comes into this Volcarona, and I'm like, this is one of the main things I was scared of on his team because of Volcarona. So he actually misplays here. He comes in, goes for the Fire Dance, and I actually carry the Flash Fire. So I'm able to take it out. I live with 1 HP after Life Orb. I'm like, woo! But, of course, I'm poisoned, so I die. Did I mention the Espeon got a Toxic off? Yeah. So he comes in with Whimsicott, which, if you think about it, it's a very racist Pokemon, because, you can only get it by getting it from Black version, and people in White version want them. So they need people from Black version to work to get... this joke is going nowhere. Racism. So, he sets up a sub, and I set up a sub, and he actually encores me into the sub, because he has Prankster, so he's got the priority. So I'm going to come into No Side here, just so I can get an Air Slash off. He's going to come into his Min Chao, and I'm just going to go for the Air Slash, take it out. He's going to come into this Reuniclus here. This Reuniclus sucks. This defensive core is just hard to get through. At least it didn't have the Ferrothorn. That's just... So right here, I go for the Earthquake. And I see he has the Flame Orb. I didn't know what he was planning to do with that. Turns out he's got the trick, and he goes for the Flame, because Magic Guard is a great combination with that strategy. So he's just in there. I also find out this is a Recover stalling. So, oh no. Stall, my worst enemy. As you saw there, I went for the rocks, and I just decided to get out because it's kind of useless at this point. My Swampert's not going to be able to do much else than that. I come in on my Golduck, and I take that Focus Blast. I go for the Soak just because I need to be able to hit it. Now, at this point, I'm not going to live a Psychic. But at least I cut that thing off from its stab. Useless crit, that's right. Yeah, but so Soak, I cut it off from its stab, and I'm able to come into my Sawsbuck here, start going for the Horn Leeches. I get the HP back that I lose from doing stuff. He keeps going for the Psychic, but because he's cut off from stab, I can live that. He realizes what I'm doing and switches the hell out. He comes to do his Whimsicott, which I wasn't really predicting, so I just went for the Horn Leech again. So, ooh, crit. Actually, that mattered. That crit mattered. So, he's just going to go for the Taunt, and here's where you see the clash of offensive and defensive players. I wasn't really thinking of doing anything to it. I just wanted this Whimsicott gone. So I go for the return. He actually ends up encoring me into the return. I was afraid that he was going to come into his Jellicent here, which he does. And so I just switch out because, what else am I supposed to do? So I come out into Min Chao, and he goes for the Ice Beam. I will live that, and then I just go for the U-turn because Jellicent has some pretty bad special attack for what it is. I mean, it's a tank. Most tanks don't have the greatest attack stats. Except for Suicune. I love Suicune. So, predicting him to go for the Scold, I just come back in and just take the Scold. And so, I go for the Horn Leech, get my HP back up. He's going to go for the Ice Beam. That does a lot, but then I'm just going to go for the Horn Leech again and kill it. Oh, yeah. So, right here, he's going to come into his Espeon again, and knowing I'm not going to be able to live a Psychic, that's just bad for me. I actually do get the HP back up, which is very good. But it turns out this thing has a red card, which I didn't find out before because I never hit it. So, at least his red card's gone. I basically just fodder out my Swampert here. So, I come back into my Sawsbuck, and I just go for the Horn Leech, take it out. I get more HP back. I love Sawsbuck. It's one of my favorite Pokemon this gen, I think. It's tied with Chandelure. It's doing very, very well. Okay, so he's down to his last poke. I'm going to keep going for that Horn Leech. He's going to go for the Psychic. It's not super effective anymore at this point. I just want this thing gone, so I go for the Return, which is my highest powered move, stab and all. He's going to keep going for the Recover and just stall me out a little bit. I'm going to go for the Horn Leech and just steal some of that HP he recovers back off. And there's just a little bit of stall here. I mean, it's not the worst stall in the world. So what I do is I start Swords Dancing because I want to be able to hit through his Recover and everything. So he goes for the Psychic. That gets me down to 3 HP. I hit it with a Return, and he's just going to take me out with a Psychic here. So, and that... useless crit. That is the definition of useless crits. Because Wild Chase invented critical hits. So I'm going to come into my Mienshao here, go for the Fake Out, and I'm just going to go for the U-turn over and over, and over and over, and over and over, until I can kill it. But unfortunately, it lives. I'm not going to be able to live a Stab Psychic. This game is over. So, I mean, offensive, defensive teams clashing. It was a very good battle, Greg. I'd like to battle you again. But that was a very good match. I enjoyed myself. It was just very different. I'd like everyone who is watching this video to just comment, let me know what you thought of the match, what I could be doing better, and everything. And yeah, I mean, like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more of me. So I'll see you guys later. Also, check out my opponent's channel. I'll put it in the link below. He's very good. He's just really getting started. He's only got 2 battles posted, but I enjoy his content. Goodbye.